Hello, this is Neil from iPaintGirls.com, where you can find more free tutorials. Most of them are in real time. Unlike this is not real time. But this isn't a tutorial. This is the Let's Paint series, or Let's Draw and Let's Paint series. This is a Let's Draw, and so I'm drawing Harley Quinn from the Batman series. I think she's a really cool character, and a lot of people that were saying for ideas who I should draw next, there really wasn't anyone or a lot of you agreeing on any particular character. You guys had some good ideas. I'm gonna try to get around to those characters, but if you want to see your character right away, the more people need to vote for it. The more people that vote for a single character, the more likely I am to do that one next. But still, you guys give some good ideas, and I'll try to get around to them. Right, anyway, so this is what I decided to do next. So as always, I start out with the basic kind of sketchy form. Actually, in this one, I didn't go too much into the basic sketch form. I just kind of went right into sort of drawing the body because it's a pretty easy pose. I didn't feel like I needed to really sketch in much skeletal structure or stuff like I usually do. I usually do more of a rough thing when I first start out, just to kind of get a feel for the pose and everything. But this one, I had a good idea of how I want it to be in my head. Unfortunately, I don't really like the end result all that much. It came out okay, but I think it could have been better. Maybe more powerful if I would have pulled her hip back away from us, like twisted it away from us. That is on our right, her left, kind of pull that back into space more. It is kind of already tilted back a little bit, but I could have twisted it more maybe, and then maybe twisted her, pulled her right shoulder forward more so she's really shoving that gun at us. That would add a more dynamicness to this kind of casual pose. Nonetheless, it came out kind of cool. I did a forced perspective. A forced perspective is when you make something a lot larger than it would be even if you had it that close to your face. So even if that gun was that close to my face and her body and everything, it wouldn't quite look like this. So I went ahead and forced the perspective, and I think it's good to do that sometimes. It in itself adds dramaticness to the picture. It adds force to the picture that wouldn't otherwise be there. So try it sometimes. Comic books do it all the time. Like when a character is facing their hand at you, their hand will get really big and they'll force the perspective. Cartoons do it as well, or anime. And so after I have the pose and everything down how I like it, then I go ahead and add the costume and everything. Now what's cool about this, you can actually save poses and reuse them. Because once you have a good pose, then you can really make it just about any character you want, as long as the pose fits that character's personality. So I could easily make this pose be all kinds of people. There's a lot of chick personalities that would fit this and have a gun pointing at you. For example, it can be Tomb Raider, or not Tomb Raider, but it could be Lara Croft. But yeah. Had some trouble with the lips. What's cool, the advantage of sketching digitally is that you could easily erase much easier, but also you can resize things. So you can grab the lips and just lasso around them and resize it, and so that comes in handy. I did that with her hand because I was having trouble getting it how I want it, and so I just decided to draw it big first and then just shrink it down a little bit. After I have the rough sketch in there, then I go to a more finalized sketch. Now what I could have done here is actually I could have taken that rough sketch before even doing this part here. I could have taken that rough sketch right into Illustrator or whatever I like to do line art with. I like Illustrator, and I could have did the line art directly with that. So but I was doing a drawing a sketch thing, so I decided to go ahead and using a size 3 brush. It's a hard brush, size 3, and I have noise checked on it in the brush options. And this is actually really cool to get a kind of pencil sketch look. If you just use this size for the whole thing, you can get a kind of a neat sketch look with it. I made her eyes too far apart at first, but I go in and fix that by just grabbing the eye with the lasso tool and moving it. Again, that's the advantage of sketching digitally. It really does save a lot of time sketching digitally, I think. I can sketch pretty fast with pencil too, but sometimes if you make a huge error, it's like, oh man, it's like, but it's alright as long as you lay down your first thing with light colored pencil, like a blue pencil, or if you lay down your lines just lightly with a harder edge, a harder lead, then you could easily erase and fix it and stuff, and then go in and add your final sketch on top of that, and then scan it and do your inking if you want. But I think it just saves a lot of time if you just do it all digitally, but it really just depends on the person. I like doing both, so I'll still be doing sketching with live, or sketching with live. It's both live, but sketching with pencil, I'll still be doing that. So as you can see, I'm just doing hatching shading. It's easier to do with using that small brush on a digital. When you're working digitally like this, it's easier just to do the hatching type shading than it is to try to actually shade. If I was to actually shade, then I would just use a bigger brush and make it more shaded, either like kind of like a pen shading, or just do a quick speed painting. You really can't get pencil shading look with digital. You kind of can with the blur tool. If you do cross hatching and then blur it, you can kind of get a pencil look like that and mix between cross hatching and blurring. But it's really hard to duplicate pencil completely. But anyway, no reason really to do that anyway. If you really want the pencil, just draw with pencil, if you really want that pencil look. So I'm just about done here, adding in some final shading, and I got to fix her eyeball because it was all retarded looking. Her eyes could have been just better in general. I could have made the mask to where it didn't cover her eyes so much. Anyway, so that's it. Thank you.